Hi guys. So today we are going to be talking about kinetic energy as it is related to mass. So yesterday you should have looked up what kinetic energy is, and you should have found that it was the energy of an object in motion. Okay, so the energy in motion. And then mass is how much matter an object has or how much it weighs. Um, you will see a lot of the times that kinetic energy will be abbreviated as KE, okay? Just because kinetic energy sometimes takes a lot longer to write out. So on this sheet, I'm going to show you how we are going to graph kinetic energy and mass, and then you are going to try it yourself on a different worksheet. Now, on this one, you will notice that there is an equation on how kinetic energy, mass, and velocity are all related. Okay, so how you can find the kinetic energy of an object if you know the mass and velocity, and so on. You do not need to worry about calculating kinetic energy. I went ahead and filled this table in already. So then all we have to do is just plot our points. So if you look down here, we have the graph. And if we remember Salton, S for scale, let's look at the scale of the x-axis. So you'll see it's all spread out. And it goes from 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. Okay, so the scale is 0.1. So between the values is 0.1 kilograms. Okay, so that talks about our units. We have kilograms right here. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of highlight some of these things. So right here, oh, hold on, let me do the box. So right here, we have kilograms. I don't think you can even see that. Let's try one more time. There we go. That is our unit. Okay, now on our y-axis, our scale, we go from 0 to 50 to 100 to 150. So the scale here is going to be 50. And our units are what is called joules. That is how you measure kinetic energy, is by joules. Okay, so we have our scale, our units, our labels. So we have our mass on the x-axis. Okay, and we have our kinetic energy on the y-axis. So basically what it's telling us is we were given the mass and we were measuring how much kinetic energy those sports balls have. Okay, so now all we're going to do is just graph our points. So the first one has a mass of 0.04 and kinetic energy of 25 joules. So you'll notice I've already graphed this. 0.04, that's going to be a little less than halfway, and 25 is right in the middle of 0 and 50. So that's where that point is going to be. Okay, now let's look at the next one. The next one, we have 0.156 kilograms with 96 joules. Okay, so 0.156. So 0.1 is here. Okay, 0.156, 0.15 is going to be right in the middle. So it's going to be pretty close to the middle. Right about here is going to be 0.156. And then we said we had 96 joules. So we're going to go from this spot just straight up. Okay, this line is 100, but we're a little bit less than that. So I'm going to put my dot right about here. Okay, and all I'm doing is just using the drawing tool, and I have it on 8, and I'm just clicking wherever I want it. Okay, so now let's look at the next one. Next one we have 0.185 with 113 joules. Okay, 0.185 kilograms. So if this was 0.156, 0.185 is going to be kind of more around here. Okay, and we have 113. So I'm going to go, say it's going to be right about here. It's a little bit above 100. Okay. So then the next one we have 0.270 with 165 joules. So 0.270. Here's 0.2, here's 0.3. This is going to be 0.25. So 0.27 is going to be right about here. And then we have 165 joules. So I'm just going to go straight up from that point. This is 150. Okay. So right in the middle is going to be 175. I only want 165. So I'm going to go kind of right about here. I'm going to just put my point there. Okay. Next one is 0.440 kilograms, and that has 270 joules of kinetic energy. So 0.440 and 270. So I'm on the soccer ball right now. So 0.44. So this is going to be 0.45. So I'm going to go just a little bit here. And then what did we say the joules were? 270, sorry. So 0.44 right about here, and 270. So we're going to go 250. And it's going to be pretty close to the middle of this square, between 250 and 300. So a little under. So I'm going to put my dot right about there. Okay. And then the last one, the basketball, okay, it has a mass of 0.625 and 383 joules of energy. So 0.625. So here's 0.6. This is 0.65. 0.625 is going to be right about here. And 383. So we're going to go all the way up to 350. Okay, and it's going to be a little bit over halfway, because the halfway point between 350 and 400 would be 375. We want 383. So I'm going to go right about here with my point. Okay, so that was all we have to do. Now, what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to draw a line connecting these dots so we can kind of visually see. So I'm going to start my line there, and it's going to go to here. Let me try that again. We're going to start it, and it's going to go to here. Okay, start it. And keep in mind there's probably some human error on this. It's not 100% exact, but it's accurate enough to get an idea. Oh, I didn't quite make it all the way on that one. So, okay, so you can see it forms a pretty straight line. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is figuring out what that relationship is. Okay, so you are going to do the exact same thing on the worksheet that is on Google Classroom.